Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Kelly Gladden Show, and I'm here with the pretty incredible Keith Woolridge. How are you today?
I'm wonderful, and yourself?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you for asking.
Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're running for school board for Panama School District?
Yes, we are running 2010, 14, and now 18. Our third shot at the title, so to speak. So we're looking forward to it. The seat belongs to the people. I have to earn the people's trust and go for it one more time.
And why should we vote for you?
Well, Kelly, there's still some work to be left undone. I mean, we have made a lot of strides in the district. We're very proud of the programs we have in place, but we still have some distance to travel. One being, I would like to see our schools implement our STEAM academies, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. We've done something innovative in the district in that we've partnered with the University of Virginia School of Business.
Nice.
So the School of Business and our School of Education, they're now are becoming one. So we're taking the best practices from business, the best practices from education, merging those two together to get an outcome to increase the student outcomes for Kern County. So nice. I'm looking forward to that. So I want to see that initiative finished. We're growing, we're bursting out of the seams at the Panama District. So we've just had the Whitley School, which was our 24th, I believe.
Wow.
And we're looking forward to
Are you going to split districts?
No. We're going to stay one district.
You're going to try to be as big as Kern County?
We can't be as big as Kern County. However,
Kern County High School District, the largest district in the United States?
We have here's the thing, what's frightening about that. We have the room because the district does go to I-5.
Yeah.
So it could be, but then the voters would have to talk about the maps and all of that.
Right.
And you can get too large where you begin to lose some of your focus and some of your direction, but that's past my tenure.
And you guys have done a lot of innovative programs. You did a mentoring program where you taught the children self-esteem.
Yeah, we're still working on that program. That's another reason why it got going. But you know, things lose steam, right?
Right.
So, excuse the pun with my steam academy.
I like steam.
But
my husband's the steam of king, produced more steam than anyone in the world.
Is that right?
Yeah, you can stay steam as long as you want.
Okay, all right. But we still got work to do there. I mean, some of the outcomes, we've made tremendous strides. I think of one of our schools on the east side, Sandrini, or is it Cyber, their math scores grew immense under our lead schools.
Wow.
So I think they outperformed Reagan in growth.
Nice.
Was nice, right?
Yeah,
so
really nice.
We are doing the right things there, and I just want to give it 4 more years just to see kind of some of those initiatives come to pass that we started, and then I'll say let me.
And one nice thing is you noticed that there was no negativity. It was all positive, and that's what today's show is about, positivity.
Well,
and that's the last of the politics we're going to talk
well, good, because there's more to me than politics.
I'm like...
There's more to me than that. You know, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a community
mentor,
guy.
You're a volunteer.
There's more.
You're an insurance man.
Yeah,
you're a friend.
I like to think I'm a better friend than all of that. But thank you.
Yes.
You know, that's why we're here to shed light, to be salt.
And it's nice. You're a good mentor in the sense that, you know, if I have an issue, a question, I can just give you a call, and if I'm wrong, you're going to tell me.
Well, I like to think I'm an educator.
Well, absolutely.
So as an educator, that's what we do. It's just to bring things to light that may not have been thought of or thought of differently, and just shed, a little.
And don't you teach at the adult school?
Yeah, I've been blessed to teach at Santa Barbara Business College there on
Nice.
California Avenue. I teach the business courses there, and that helps me keep my skill set up. Because
those kids keep you in check.
Those kids and adults, they keep you in check. They definitely do.
Are they older than you? Any of them?
No.
So they're kids.
But I do have one student, she's 48, I believe.
Oh,
that's my oldest.
Dang.
And my youngest is 17. So I do get the spectrum.
That's nice.
And we're in a different world now. Let's put it that way.
Surely. I mean, it's a crazy world now.
Yeah, it's a different world. But again, it takes people like yourself, me, your listening, your viewing audience.
Right. So blessed with great viewers.
To step in, to step up,
right.
to get into the game.
Volunteer.
I mean...
And what you and I always say is get out of the box.
Right.
Don't be limited to your knowledge, your neighborhood, your community, your mindset, your political party.
It's a big world
right.
out there. And that's how we grow, is to expand our world. I always tell folks, if you're going to read something in the newspaper or see something on the news, go get 3 or 4 different sources.
Yeah.
So that you get a broad...
Just don't read Facebook and think it's the news.
Yes,
Please.
Facebook. While we may
Can I
be
hear an amen? Can I hear an amen?
it's probably not a primary source to get your information.
There's this wonderful site called gov.com,
right.
and you can actually read the speeches or get information from the horse's mouth.
Right. You want to get it from the primary source,
right,
where you can.
Right.
And I tell folks, if there's a story happening in Baltimore, read the Baltimore paper.
Right.
If there's a story happening in Tampa, read the Tampa paper.
Right.
Get the local perspective.
Wouldn't that be common sense?
I would like to think
What
so.
happened to common sense? Can we teach that in schools?
Can we teach common sense in school? That's a good question. Maybe we could model it. See, a lot of times it's a modeling.
Right.
That sometimes an example is a better teacher than a textbook.
Right.
So if I model the behavior I want to see, that's the best teacher.
See, what I think part of the problem is, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that everybody is fed. Nobody is fishing. And they get lazy. Even the kids, they do the minimum. And there's very few that are overachievers. There's always going to be few,
Right, you have your outliers, right.
Yeah.
The smartphone has been a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Yeah.
I've won a lot of money on sports bets and bars because we can Google it and see who won Super Bowl 13, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it stops you from doing the hard work of the research, of going to the library, of going through the stacks, of pulling those magazine articles that were gone.
Information.
So it has hurt our critical thinking to a point. So we can have that conversation.
Yeah, and critical thinking is so important. And I even think that forensics should be taught.
I think it should be mandatory.
Yeah, especially in grammar school.
Yes. Well, it's funny. In certain schools, we have our AVID schools. For one more promotion of schools.
What does that mean?
AVID it's a demonstration. Oh man, I forgot what the acronym is. Somebody Google. Forgive the Google.
AVID.
Google AVID. Google AVID. I should know that because we are a national demonstration school.
Yeah.
We're a national demonstration district.
Accelerated. Vision.
No.
Intelligence.
I can't. No. Someone's got the Google AVID.
And Darling.
But what happens? We have what they call Socratic seminars.
Okay.
Well, you remember
Explain
Socrates?
that.
The Socratic seminar is basically a thought process.
Correct.
So our 7th and 8th graders, even down to our 4th and 5th graders, are being able to think critically.
Right.
And there's a process. You remember Socrates and his behind there. So they're taught to think in a logical, sequential manner using critical thinking skills. And it starts now in 4th grade. So we're trying.
My daughter, Caitlin, the engineer child.
Right.
She's very critical thinker, and her children, the same thing. Taylor and Tyler, critical thinkers.
Right.
They're in kindergarten, and she's in 3rd grade.
Oh my! They grow.
They grew.
They grew.
It
was fun. You talking about growing? We're kind of moving around the agenda.
Yeah.
I looked at my baby when I dropped her off at the college.
I was crying.
4th year.
I was crying with the little. You were unpacking the stuff.
Yes, and my second one is a 1st year at Sac State, and it's like, where did my
You only
time?
have one at home now, right?
I have 2 more. At home. I'm 50% empty nester now. And
right.
It just dawned on me. Where did my time go?
So his wife has 3 at home.
Just okay. That was tush. All right, got it. Absolutely. But
critical thinking.
So the girls are, we try to stress that.
I know that it's important. For example, I love to talk about my family. They just love it so much.
Right.
So does yours. So Taylor was having an issue with another little girl at school, and she told her mom, and why do you think there's an issue, and what's the background of the situation, and how can you make it better, and really analyze it, and come to find out the little girl has been in foster home after foster home, and Taylor has been on every vacation, she's been on cruises, and so Taylor's now more sensitive and realized that using critical thinking and
how did she get there? She asked questions.
Correct. Yeah, because our children are taught to ask questions. You never, and the same thing that I taught them, don't assume. And I always have, with my close relationships, and this as well, because we're dear friends. If I say something and you know my intent, I expect you to correct me.
Right. You have
Or
to
vice
ask
versa.
questions. Absolutely. You know,
That's how we learn. Get out of the dang box.
because we all have blind spots.
Right.
Or
Right.
your listening audience, or they know stochomas, right?
Right.
We all have them. All of us have them.
Right.
That we
We assume everyone thinks the way we do.
Right.
Which is not true.
This is not true. So the way you grow is to ask questions, hang out with people different than you, read different material, speak with different people that you would not normally speak with.
Right.
That's how you grow. That's how you develop. That's how you mature.
Right.
And so some of the truncated negative thinking that we are experiencing goes away. It's hard for me to think down upon you, to stereotype you when I know you.
Exactly.
And how do I get to know you? By asking you questions from a sincere place.
Correct.
You know, from a place of honesty.
Intent. It's all positive intent.
Yes. That's how you get to know people. That's how
And
you
as
get to know.
Christians, we should love one another and ask.
And ask questions.
You know what? If somebody said something offensive, I would ask them.
Yes.
You know, what
Yes.
do you mean by that?
Yes. Help me understand. Excuse me.
You taught me a lot.
Help me understand what you mean by that.
Yeah.
That's a key phrase that will solve a ton of problems.
Right.
Because I may hear something that wasn't your intent.
Right.
And the only way I'm going to find is to ask you that question.
Right.
What did you mean by that? And then we go from there.
Yeah. And that is so important, because when I hear, if I look at this box and I think this box is, I see a green box, and to me a green box means happiness, but you had a horror story with the green box. You look at that box and it's a saddening event. The only way for us to understand each other's point of views is to talk about it.
Well,
I used a box so we didn't get political.
No, you used a prime example with your child.
Yeah.
She has a paradigm of how life is.
Right.
The person she had the problem with have a paradigm of how life is.
Right.
Once your baby understood her life, she saw things from her lens.
Right.
And then she was able to maneuver that relationship so they both grow.
Right.
So that's very, very
And
important.
you know what? I am so proud of my daughters that they both do that. I remember, and I told you this story. My daughter, the nurse, had a patient when she was out of California that was a very prominent, wealthy black gentleman that was a dentist, and he didn't want a white person to touch him. And she was really offended. And she asked, she talked to me about it, and I said, she said, well, I'm going to ask his wife or somebody why he feels that way. And it's because his grandparents grew up in a generation where when black people went to the doctor, they experimented on them. Mm-hmm. That was their thought. So it's not that, and he had a little bit of dementia, so it's not that he thought my daughter was bad. He had a different perspective.
That was his world view.
It wanted an eye-opening experience. But I do have to say, when he coded or got sick, he wanted her to stabilize him. And then once she was stabilized, okay.
He was fine.
Move along.
Yeah. Again, that's that paradigm.
Yeah.
That's his world
And
view.
it wasn't, his intent was never mean. He was not being mean. Now, was it mean? Yes, but his intent wasn't. But as a Christian, as a person that should have love and joy in their heart, you look at their intent and have to sometimes let things go, because he didn't mean to be mean.
And sometimes
you understand it.
I think, and I'm learning this, sometimes you have to give up your right to be right.
Oh, yes.
And if you're
learn that with family.
Yeah, that's exactly
Can
right.
I hear an amen?
Sometimes you just have to give up your right to be right, especially if your intent is there.
Correct.
And I think we all can learn from that. And you talk about relationships expanding and growing when you come from that space.
Right.
And then it's taken me some time. I'm not there yet.
Lord
knows I am not there yet.
Keep my mouth shut.
I'm not there
yet. If I
yet.
could just zip it and
And you go from there.
Yeah.
You go from there.
So what do you need to work on?
My mouth.
Yeah. That's why I like you.
The tongue can no man tame, and that would be I.
Yeah. Have you ever read Hung by the Tongue?
No.
Fabulous book.
Who's the author?
I don't know, but you can look up Hung by the Tongue.
We can Google it, huh?
We can Google it. We have so much in our our brains
Hung
know by the tongue. It's a Christian motivational business book.
Okay, I'll look that up.
It's really good.
I've never read that.
And talk about reading literacy.
Yes.
So passionate. It's my passion, your passion.
I tell folks, one's literacy is their license to compete. What do you mean by that, Keith? It's education. It's
fair playing field.
Fair playing field. It levels it out.
Right.
And, in Kern County, we still have a ways to go. While this is a wonderful community, we are still lagging in that area. I applaud the work of Kern Literacy Council as they're doing their best to close that gap. I want to applaud all of our school systems as we're doing our best to close our gap. Friends of mine a friend of mine, she just got some help to close the literacy gap.
Right.
So that's so key, and it starts as simple as just reading to your child. I love to read. I have no idea what's going on TVs because I'm a bookworm. I'm a nerd.
Right. I am too.
I'm a nerd. So.
And Callan's car says Nerd Wagon.
Is that right?
Yeah, Nerd Taxi. Sorry, Nerd Taxi.
So you have to read. I mean, and as we become a more literate community,
right,
we'll see more Amazons come to town. We'll see more industry come to town. Who knows? Google could leave the Bay Area and come here. Why? Because the literacy and the educational is there, and our entire
they can fill the jobs.
Yes, and our entire standard of living increases here. Who knows? We could get a medical school here. There's a lot of things that can happen, but we must increase the literacy rate from the bottom up. And again, the Amazons, other warehousing, other logistics companies, tech, because tech transcends location, right? We are streaming the world right now, believe it or not, from Bakersfield.
Right.
So why can't we be a tech hub? Why can't we? And those are the things that our city leaders need to think about as they invest in education and literacy. We all win.
And I'm going to take it a step further. Like you had suggested that parents read to their child. Well, unfortunately, there's a lot of parents that aren't home to read to their children, or they're unable to read to their children.
Right.
So as a person of privilege by the means of time, I think there's a lot of women and men or college students that could go and donate and their time and go to the schools and help the kindergartners, the first graders, the second graders, third graders. There's so many things as a volunteer that I could do at a school that a teacher can.
And on Sundays, on Saturdays, while the kids playing footballs, there's a little tutorial thing on the other side of the field. There's a ton of things we can do.
Right.
But it's foundational to literacy. It's everything.
To me, it's the most important. It's the center of the hub that goes out.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so key. It's vital. It's one of those foundational principles that life is based on.
And it was quite interesting. One of my friends, Chris Crane, who's a teacher at VHS, had written something about grammar when people use the wrong words. And somebody came across and said that that was a racist comment, and he's a Democrat. And they were Democrats saying it. Not that matters, but I want to clarify that. No, they're white kids. Everybody has poor grammar. It doesn't know a different. I mean, we're illiterate.
I'm looking at you crazy because I'm trying to.
Yeah, I'll have to share that with you. I was blown away.
What does political affiliation and grammar, they're mutually exclusive?
That was the point. No, that was the point that I'm clarifying. It doesn't matter. Illiteracy doesn't know politics. It doesn't know race. It doesn't know sex.
No, I mean, they're mutually exclusive. I mean, that's apples and persimmons.
Yes. So I'm clarifying that because we'll get haters saying, But no, it's every group. And you know what? I think instead of dumbing down our vocabulary, that we should encourage everybody to speak as proper as they can.
And how does one increase their vocabulary?
By reading a book.
Literacy.
Back to literacy. See,
Absolutely.
I told you I'm going to bring you back every time.
That's how one increases their vocabulary.
It teaches kids to fish.
And absolutely, and adults.
And you know what is so nice about, to me, everybody has a different passion about reading.
Right.
So I'm really an avid reader. Like, if I'm bored, I will read every sign in the room. I read the boxes. I read cereal boxes. I have to have something to read. I always have to have something to read.
Right.
I mean, it's just crazy. Read all kinds of books. But when you're not feeling good, you're tired, it's hot outside, cold outside, you can be transported into a beautiful paradise.
This is true. Mm-hmm.
I am anywhere in the world that I want to be
This
with
is true.
whoever I want. I am in that story. And
That's
why
true.
would somebody not want to do that? If your life sucks, read a book.
If your life sucks,
Read a book.
I guess that does have decal potential. Who
Doesn't
knows?
it? Seriously.
If your life sucks, read a book.
Well, you're going to help your life by becoming more
I'm
literal.
with you. I'm trying.
You're transporting to a better place.
I'm tracking. I'm just trying how
I'm trying to
large
keep
of a-
it. I'm trying to. If your life sucks, read a book.
Yeah,
You know?
it depends on what you're reading.
If you're
but yeah.
like, if you're, okay, here's a better one. If your life bites, read a book. Become a bookworm.
Look at that. Double entendre. Okay, all right. I feel you. All right. Okay, good. That's t-shirt worthy. I have to give you credit.
So we're going to go to break now, and we're going to come back and talk about some more of the passionate things that you and I agree on.
That's fair.
We really don't disagree on very little.
Very little. But when we do disagree, we disagree.
Yeah, and you enlighten me or I enlighten you.
I enlighten you.
I enlighten him more.
We'll see.
See you soon.
At the time you were arrested, you were served with a DS-367 temporary driver's license. It's good for 30 days, but if you don't act within 10 days, at the end of those 30 days, your license will be suspended. It's important for your lawyer to contact the DMV for you. Set up a driver's license administrative hearing so that your license does not go into suspension. That's something here at Braemar Law we do for you.
I choose Patriot Bail Bonds.
We choose Patriot Bail Bonds.
We choose Patriot Bail Bonds.
If the best criminal attorneys choose Patriot Bail Bonds, who would you choose?
Patriot Bail Bonds. We fight for your freedom.
We hope you enjoyed our commercial break, and don't forget to check out Tactical 360. We showed a little blurb, and do you have a concealed weapons permit?
That will stay private.
Better to keep it private. But if you want to learn about it, if you want to practice, if you want to learn some gun safety, or your daughters want to learn some safety without weapons, that's the place to go.
Okay.
Chris Martinez.
I'll look him up.
Okay.
I'll definitely look him up.
So we have so much fun, and we took a little poll, and I do enlighten you more. The light shining on you, isn't it? You've been enlightened.
That's like I said it earlier. I'm going to give up my right to be right.
That's so funny.
Is that such a thing?
My husband never does.
I would give up my right
Yeah,
to be right.
he's always right.
I understand.
No, it's really funny. I laugh. My mother-in-law, we're just talking about it. when he says something and he's pretty direct, I just usually laugh because it's so funny. His intent is never bad, but some of the stuff he says, woo!
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's intent. I learned intent quick.
You learned it quick, huh?
I'd be home crying.
I learned it quick. That's funny. That's funny.
But another thing that you do is the mentoring and the men's home.
Yes.
Can we talk a little bit about that? I get so passionate. So
It's funny. If you would have told me 2 years ago that
this handsome elitist would be at a men's
elitist, wow. Wow.
I have more country in me than you do.
Okay.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
Elitist.
But if you'd have told me 3 years ago that I would have the privilege, the honor,
Truly is a privilege.
the responsibility of changing men's lives, I would have said no thank you. I have the opportunity to work with New Life Recovery.
Wow.
It's a construction training program for men who've come out of prison and to give them a new life. If you'd have told me 2 years ago that I would have compassion and empathy for somebody who's committed a crime, I'd have said, shame on them. That was me 2.5 years ago.
See, he's been enlightened.
And I tell the
Truly.
story. I tell the story again. It's a blessing. Because I had a shame on you. You do the crime, you do the time. But then when
that is still true.
and that's still true.
That's still true.
Let me finish my point. I had one guy. He's, we help with resumes and get going. And I said, I'm busy. I'm the executive director. I'm busy, right? So
Yeah.
I'm running around. So start typing. I will be there when I get, So he's still just staring like this at the keyboard, at the screen.
Perhaps micromanaging
No.
you.
No. And then I come back. Bon, what's the problem? He said, Keith, I just got out. Just got out of where? And then it dawned on me. He says, I went in 1994.
Oh, so he was a baby.
He's 50. He's my age and just got out before the internet.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That is profound.
He went
Wow.
into jail before the internet. He just got out at 50. Changed my life. And the man told me? He says, you know what I want, Keith? I just want to sit in my lazy boy chairs, because that's all he remembers in the 80s and 90s was lazy boy chairs.
Yeah, lazy
right?
boy, yeah.
Have my beer and watch my grandkids open their Christmas gifts. I've never seen that.
Gonna make me cry.
He says, I've never seen a kid, my children, open their presents, birthday or Christmas. I've never seen
profound.
it. He says, man, I that's all I want. Change my life. So, granted, he's got tats all over. That's the prison, right?
Not anymore.
Trying to find the man work. People close the door.
Right.
Now, we say we're about grace, second chances, giving people another shot at. Are we really?
The oil field companies are.
Are we really? As a society.
No.
I don't want to speak.
No.
But this is what it's about, changing your life.
Right.
I have to see, how am I looking at people? I didn't think about this. Some of these people, I used to drive I'm a kid in the 70s. You remember the big wheels?
Yeah.
Had a big wheel. One guy said, Keith, you know what I used to do with my big wheel? And I didn't know it at the time. I would take meth from my grandmother's house to my neighbor's house, and they put it in the seat that lifted up. He was a drug dealer at 7. And you wonder why he's a drug dealer at 35. He says, I used to sit and get high with my parents and cousins. Had one man say this: I used to be currency for my mother.
Heartbreaking.
You know what I mean by currency?
Yeah. Sex trafficking.
Yes. Broke I can't imagine being currency.
For anyone, more or less your parents.
Yes. And we ask ourselves the question, why? But not been getting to know these men.
Because nobody was there to love them in the beginning.
And I had this Tacoma. You do the crime, you do the time. But nobody wakes up and born and want to be there, Kelly. He had aspirations too, because he said, they all kept saying this to me. If only, yes, if only I would have went to school. If only I wouldn't have gotten the car. If only I would have been late. If only I wouldn't have taken my first hit. If only. Then I had to ask myself, damn, I've had my if only moments.
Yeah, we all have.
Just blessed I didn't get caught as a teenager. Does that make any sense what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the theme it was resonating. All the men, if only I didn't get in the car. If only I wouldn't have taken that first hit. If only I would have said no, my life would have changed. And I got to thinking, what are our if onlys? See, we are only an if only away.
And you could take it on the other side. If only someone had have helped them.
If only those of us of privilege, of means, would have reached out instead of being condemning.
Exactly. That's why I'm so passionate, and I think that everyone should volunteer or mentor. It's so important to reach out. The people that need it the most are the ones that you're afraid to go help.
I am who I am. It's because somebody loved me. Somebody took care of me. Somebody took me under my wing. Somebody encouraged me. Somebody blessed me. I've been blessed with wonderful mentors.
Right.
Starting from my high school music teacher, all the way my bosses at the bank.
Your grandma?
My grandma. I'm sitting outside of my family.
Right.
My family have been the wind in my sails.
Right.
Okay. But I've had professional mentors. I think of one in town now, Mr. Michael Turnipseed, wonderful mentor to me. Mr. Morgan Clayton, wonderful mentor to me. Keith Bryce, I can go, Bob Meadows, I can go on and on and on. I am who I am because these people attended to me. They took interest in me. They helped me. They also kicked me in my behind when I needed it as well, right? So, but that's the difference. A lot of these people need folks like you and I and your audience. We're not talking 100 hours a week. We just send sometimes for a lot of these people just a kind word.
You know, if somebody has an attitude, it's generally because they've had a bad day. And that's, again, the people that you want to help the least are the ones that need it the most.
Mm-hmm. It's about the least of these.
So in 10 years from now,
wow, and
I interview some of the people, what are they going to say Keith has helped them do?
I hope they'll
mentoring?
say, Keith helped me see who I am, the good that's in me. He encouraged me. He didn't give me anything. Matter of fact, he was a pain in my ass 9 times out of 10. Because all he did was just preach. That's all the man did. But when they are enjoying Christmas with their grandkids, we've been blessed. 3 of the guys now have their own businesses. 3 of the other guys are now enrolled in Cal State, becoming counselors.
That's incredible.
We do excellent work, but it's out of love. It's out of compassion. There's no judgment. There's just love.
So how much of it do you think is caused by the drug problems that we have now?
Unfortunately, the drug problem in Kern County is ubiquitous. It's overwhelming.
That's our word for the day.
Ubiquitous means everywhere. That's the elitist in me. Okay, you got
I
me.
like it. I just knew it would be a second. I could reel him in.
It's overwhelming, and we have to do something about it.
Right.
So that I get industry, as we talked about. We as a people must take the time. We must take the time, because if we don't, who will?
Right.
And that's what, now 3 years ago, Kelly, if you'd have asked me to have this viewpoint, I said you full of it.
I've known you for this long. I've grown with you.
But to see these men daily,
Yeah.
to know that we feel this way at New Life. God has put these people under our care.
Amen.
Those are his children too. They may have, I've dealt with guys that's got swastikas on their arm. But that's that jailhouse culture. We love them anyway.
What's their intent now?
To do better for themselves and their family.
Right.
They want what we want.
So again, we can't judge somebody based upon their past or their family or their
That's been the
spouse.
change in me.
Yeah.
It's forced when you have to look a man in the face and he's tatted and he's got 1/8 whatever. Our job is to love him.
I don't know what 1/8 means.
I'm taking the other third number off for reasons. To love them, to nourish them, to just sit and have a conversation with a man will change your life. It will change your life because nobody comes out the womb.
One of the most, and I've told you the story. I have a couple, but I'll leave it to one. Roy's Market on Martin Luther King and Cottonwood,
Okay.
the corner. That was my fire. I was assigned to it.
Mm-hmm.
And across the street, a lot of black gangbangers would sit and do whatever they did, and they played cards and stuff. And I got out of my car, and they looked at me and, said some profane things. What are you doing here? Why are you blah, blah, blah? And I'm in a pink shirt, khakis, and, work boots. And I said, looked at them and showed them respect. Do you want to drive your mom or grandma around to get milk, or do you want the milk at the store finished? Oh, and then they liked me. And then I went over there. I was eating chitlins. I was eating all kinds of things. I don't even know what it was.
If you don't know what chitlins are, well,
No,
I'll tell you after
I
the show.
know. I know. I just pray before I eat
I'd
it.
still try it.
You would?
I would.
Yeah. But the point was, I played dominoes with them. I went over there and sat with them. I was part of the culture. They made me. I submerged myself and tried to experience, learn, and grow instead of being judgmental and reacting. They knew respect. They walked me to my car. They made sure I was safe.
What does everybody
And
want?
they want to be loved and respected.
That's
Women want to be loved. Men want to be respected.
And we all have that commonality.
Primary need.
Right, it's a primary basic need. And again, the guys, white, black, Hispanic,
Right.
it's about respect.
Right.
And we teach them construction there. So a lot of our gentlemen that come cannot
Like actual
read-
construction?
Yes, they can leave reading blueprints, doing takeoffs.
Oh, I might be able to get you some jobs.
See, that's what we need. And now here's the appeal. We need two things in New Life. Obviously, we need employers. Because not every man can handle a hammer. But some men just want to be a janitor, custodian. We got
And
some
there's
guys.
nothing wrong with that
Some
either.
guys were in prison, they cooked. They just want to
Right.
be a fry cook because let's be honest about it.
They like it.
If he's tatted up here, you're not putting him where your customers are, right? So we need employers to show some compassion
Right.
and give these guys an opportunity. And obviously, I want to thank one of our vendors. They gave us whiteboards so that the construction manager could do his thing, right? Right now, I need 3 computers. I'm working on a Windows 7. Right? I need computers, Facebook. I need 3. So that these guys can do their resumes, go online.
Maybe we
their
could
thing.
do a fundraiser.
Maybe
for you.
we can.
So how can we help? So this is such a great, and I'm so passionate about it. Where are they located?
We're at 3501 Edison Highway. We are there changing lives. Again, I think of one. Hopefully he'll see it. Casey, what's up, bro? He came in. If you'd have saw Casey 6 months ago, oh my God. Now he is a freshman at Cal State.
And they have tattoo removals.
Yes,
that
they do.
for
And we
free.
do that. We do that for those
Yeah.
guys. Casey now will be a drug and alcohol counselor.
Isn't that wonderful?
We have 4 of our residents, 3 of our current staff were once residents who went and got their KDAC certifications. They're working on them right now.
Right.
So that's what we teach. Each one reach one. You give back. You help.
Give back.
So
See, fishing. Community.
And these men love it. And they feel part of a community.
Right.
They feel part of a community.
I have an answer for you from earlier. AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination.
Yes, thank you so much.
I got one right.
I should know that because we're a national demonstration school. From all over the country, they come visit Stone Creek, Actus, and Thompson. We're a national demonstration district. I'm very, very proud. So we're very proud. I should have known that, but thank you so much. I should have known that.
What junior high did you get to?
I'm from Merced.
I know.
So I'm a Rivera Road runner.
Woo!
Yes, indeed.
I was an Actus American.
Yeah, I'm a Merced boy. I'm a Merced.
So another thing we have a lot of is the homelessness.
Yes.
And we'll talk about that, have you back on another show.
Okay.
And I would love to go out to your facility and, volunteer and maybe interview some of the guys.
Come out, interview some of the guys. I mean, I am looking for support, both financially. If you can't write a $10,000 check, I'll take some computers. I'll take some time. We do wonderful work out
so
there.
you need financial assistance, they need equipment, they need computers.
Yes.
Supplies, hammers, tools,
tool belts, as simple as work boots. You can't go on the job without work boots.
I have some pink ones.
I don't know if the brothers want to that could be problematic for a couple of the fellas out there. But it's a wonderful opportunity for the community to say to be about what we say, to practice,
to walk the walk,
practice what we preach.
Right.
And again, we have over a 90% success rate, low recidivism. Guys go to their families, they work. If you 3 years ago, if you said I've been doing this type of work or cared, I actually care now. I actually care,
and it makes you a better person.
Yes,
and you love your children more.
Yeah, it's changed me.
Because really, we have maybe 1% tolerance for the stuff our kids do. We don't appreciate them. And then we're around other people and we see how blessed and grateful we truly are.
It's changed me.
Yeah.
I'm thankful. I'm a different human being.
And you have 2 girls in college.
2 in college. So don't laugh at my shoes. You will be seeing these for a while because I got 2 more following them. So, and my car, as much as I want my new car, I got to keep driving my little bucket until they are out of school. That's the sacrifice we make.
Yeah. And you're also an insurance man.
Yes, I have my own agency. I broker with Pacific Preferred Insurance Broker. So I have to do a lot. I'm Jamaican. I have to hustle, man.
Hustle, man.
Because those kids in college, again, education
have you done some things?
It's a priority for me.
Right.
So I will do what I got to do so that they get their education because it's been my education that my parents sacrificed for me.
Right.
That's opened the doors for me, so it's my turn for them.
So do you have any special talents?
I used to play trumpet.
Can you sing?
No, I can't sing.
Can you dance?
Is the Pope Catholic?
Well, I thought you could sing.
I can't sing.
I'm not really sure is the Pope Catholic.
He's Catholic.
There's a lot of controversy.
Yeah, he's got a whole lot of trouble.
We won't get
into that.
Yeah, no negativity.
We won't get into that, but no.
Well, I thought, maybe we could rent you out and you could play the trumpet.
I still play every now and then. We had a group called the Heavenly Horns that we played with. So every now and then I dust it off. I still got my chops.
Well, it's surely been a blessing and an honor.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Yeah, and when you share the video that we did today at the live view, can you include how people can get in touch with
New Life?
Yes.
I surely will.
And then also you might give a shout out, and if you agree with everything that you said, which pretty much, why wouldn't you? Maybe they could give you their vote.
I would love to earn the vote of the Panama Area 1. That's between Ash and 99, between Taft Highway and Stockdale Highway.
Can I vote twice?
No, you may not.
Do I have to show an ID?
That would be illegal, and that would be wrong. I want to earn the election the right way. I want to earn the people's trust one more time.
And we had a call-in question, Goose, from Inga Barks.
Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. I can't. You know what?
Her question was,
I can't remember what the question was.
Panama Union School District. See, I'm a multitasker. The Panama Union.
She was paying attention.
So at the Panama Union School District,
Yes.
do the children pledge allegiance?
Yes, I believe so. I haven't heard them because I'm at work, but we start all of our board meetings with the pledge. As a matter of fact, we have each student body president sit in my chair and lead the audience in the pledge.
Aw.
So if you become student body president, you get to sit at the dais and you get to open the meeting with myself.
Oh, that's nice.
And then I believe opening of school, there is the Pledge of Allegiance. But I will find out. I'm not there, but it's not banned. at
Now,
the
is
schools.
Dean Haddock running as well?
No, Dean will be in 2 years.
2
Dean
years.
is the vice president, wonderful board member, JP
Great
Lake,
psychologist.
Greg White, and Trustee Rojas has decided not to run again. But we're a wonderful team. It's been a pleasure serving with those colleagues. Dr. Kevin Silverberg is our superintendent, wonderful superintendent. You know, I just would like another 4 years with this team, and then I'll ride off into the sunset.
Nice. Well, again, God bless and have a wonderful weekend, and we hope that you go out and change a life.
Let's change a life.
Yeah.
If it's just your own,
Read a book.
read a book.
Don't suck.